Hello, friend. Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. I've actually been doing some videos that have been dealing with immigration, which is really an important thing, and it's even become more important here in our world that we live in today. But it's really important when it comes to coming from the United States or Canada into Mexico. Now, today I'm going to be talking about what's called a Banjercito. Now, what this document does is it actually legalizes your vehicle in Mexico. Now, in the same way that what you've got to do is you've got to get a visa to come into Mexico legally, the same thing with a car. The car has to be legally brought into Mexico. That Banjercito actually is what makes it legal. Now, when you get it, it actually is as good as long for your visa is for. So let's say, for example, it's a tourist visa, and tourist visa is more or less 180 days. But let's say you're only going to be here for 60 days, so they make your Banjercito for 60 days. Here's what happens. If you're in the States or if you're in Canada, you come across the border, let's say at Laredo, Texas, since you're looking at coming to Lake Chapala, what you've got to make sure you do is that Banjercito, you're going to pay about $400. It's online is where you actually get it. That's going to legalize your car. You're going to drive your car then from the States down here to Lake Chapala. Now, let's say you're going to be here for 6 months. Your Banjercito is good for 6 months. You've got to make sure to get back to the border and basically to get your refund, because you're making a deposit, basically, is what the Banjercito is doing. It's guaranteeing Mexico that your car will be back out of Mexico within the time period that you've actually requested. Now, you've got to make sure that you've got one of these, because if you don't, you get pulled over, they can confiscate your car. And then to get it back is a real difficult thing because you're illegal. It'd be like if you're here and you don't have a visa. Once you get found out, you're in hard times. That's a big problem. So it's really important to have this Banjercito. Now, what happens is when you come down, and you've got to make sure you're back at the border. So that means that you're driving from Laredo, Texas, basically, down here to Lake Chapala. It's a 12-hour ride, which means before those 6 months are up, you've got to drive 12 hours back up to Laredo, Texas, and get across the border. So now you are, and your vehicle is legally now out of the country. To come back in, you've got to pay the deposit again to come back down. Now, here's the hitch. What happens if you come down and you're on a tourist visa? It's 180 days. But within that period of time, you've actually gotten your, let's say, temporal visa. Well, instead of having a year go by, because that's what you have when you have a temporal visa, it's for a year. When before that year goes by, you've got to make sure to get your car back up to the border. So you, in fact, are getting that Banjercito, getting that deposit refunded, and you've got to put down another deposit to come back in again. But here's the good news. If you're looking at being here longer and you're going from, let's say, for example, your tourist visa for 180 days, and you're going now for your temporal, what happens is you can actually go to an attorney, immigration attorney, that you can get here at Lake Chapala. And what they do is they transfer that Banjercito from your tourist visa now to your temporal visa. Then what happens is it has to be renewed then every year from then. But what you do is you pay an attorney to take care of that. Now, when we had ours done to transfer, we paid 600 pesos, so basically $30 US, to have it go from our tourist visa to our temporal. Now, again, that's a lot better than having to drive 12 hours back up to Laredo, Texas, to get $400 back, turn around, have to pay it again, and then come back down to Lake Chapala. When I was told that we had to go back up there to do this, I thought, that can't be. But that's the truth. That's what you have to do. Unless you are looking at going from a temporal or a tourist visa to your temporal, and what you're having done is you're having it transferred from one visa to the other visa, and then just having that same attorney takes care of getting it renewed for you. So This is really, really important information because, again, having your car, your foreign plated car in Mexico is just like you being here. You've got to have a visa. Your car has to be legally also here in Mexico, and that's what that Banjercito takes care of. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the link to be able to get this Banjercito is going to be down in its description below. So you, in fact, if you're in the process right now of coming down, you'll be able to make sure that your car, a foreign plated car from Canada or the United States, is actually legal coming into Mexico. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's a great community, and you don't want to be left out of all the great things that takes place here. On top of that, give us a thumbs up. We love that. What happens is it also helps the algorithms with YouTube, that when somebody comes on to YouTube looking for certain videos, let's say, for example, immigration or driving a car down to Mexico, what it does is it helps them be able to find that correct video that they're looking for. Also, go ahead and comment. We love to hear from you. We love reading the comments and interacting with you. It's a great thing that we're able to do. And on top of that, go ahead and hit the bell, because that will actually inform you immediately when, in fact, our next video comes out. So with that, as always, thank you so much for being a part of this video. Have an awesome day. We'll see you on the next video.